Even though it's fall, you should be thinking spring, because the tulips, daffodils, hyacinths, and crocus, which flower in springtime, need to be planted this fall. So here are a few tips on how to select the bulbs. For example, this is a daffodil bulb, and in the trade they call this one peak here a nose. So this is what's called a single nose bulb, and this will produce one flower and one flower only. Now, out of the same bin, I selected this bulb, which is called, in the trade again, a double nose bulb. Now on average, this bulb will produce 1.5 flowers, and we know bulbs don't produce a half a flower, but if you have 2 bulbs, for example, you should get 3 flowers on average. Now, out of the same bin, I selected this one, and you can see there's 1 nose, there's 2, and there's 3. So the triple nose bulbs will average 2 flowers per bulb. And they're all out of the same bin. They cost exactly the same amount of money. So when you're shopping, why not look for the triple nose bulbs and see if you can find them. They're a much better investment for you. Now also, here are some tulips. These have the skin on them. And sometimes you'll find in the nurseries and the garden centers those that do not have the skins on them. It really doesn't make any difference. So the important thing though is to look to see that the bulbs are firm. And I have a good example right here, again going back to the daffodils. All you need to do is just squeeze this a little. Don't squeeze it hard, but just a little, and you can see right away that this one's mushy. It's no good. So by all means, don't buy that bulb. Now, I couldn't find any hyacinths in the garden center when I went shopping yesterday, but the important thing I can very briefly tell you is with hyacinths, use small bulbs in the garden. If you're forcing them, use the large bulbs, and you can save yourself some money that way. And look what else I found when I was in the garden center yesterday. Cochicum. Looks like a crocus, doesn't it? It is. It's the fall, or what's often called the autumn crocus. And this is the most popular, but they come in other colors too. You can plant these right now, because as what happens in springtime, the foliage comes up, it dies down, and then in the fall comes this beautiful crocus flower. A great plant to add in the garden. And then one other last word about bulbs, and that is this. This is the amaryllis. And you can see it flowered this spring, and now it had the foliage. Right now is the time that you put this away. Quit watering it, fertilizing it, don't give it any care whatsoever. Let the foliage die back naturally, clip it back at that point, and then just let the bulb store for, about a month or so. In other words, the whole process takes about 3 months, then you can start it all over again. Give those bulbs the attention they need now.